This is so close to being what I would call a diamond in the rough. It is so close, guys. But instead, I'm going to label this thing on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I'm going to call this a Handyman Special. For one reason and one reason alone. But it's a big reason. The slide out does not work. That being said, this floor plan doesn't really need the slide out to work to be a viable floor plan for at least some very basic starter casual camping type use. Essentially, here's the backstory in this one. Let me explain a little more clearly. Let me back up. This RV is sat unused in a barn for the past 3 years, so it's been protected from the weather, thank God. Unfortunately, it was a husband-wife pair, and they did a ton of traveling on this thing, and they spent some decent money on some smart upgrades on this to keep it in top shape. Unfortunately, gentleman of the household is no longer with us. This is the last piece of their life together. Sadly, it's kind of a sad story, and she's finally ready to let it go. And in the meantime, while it was in storage, something happened. The slide out's not working, and she just wants it gone. And she doesn't want to mess around with diagnosing, waiting on parts, replacing, anything like that. So she says, I tell you what, sell it dirt cheap, get rid of it. It's here on consignment. I'm just ready for this to be gone. That chapter of my life is closed. I've moved on, and I'm happy for her. And in the meantime, we have a half-ton towable fifth wheel here with a non-operational slide that if you are, you know your way around a wrench, you can track down electricity with a multimeter. You could probably, for very little money, get this thing back up and run and work in order and come out ahead. I can't find leaks. The tires are good. They put a slide awning on it, even though the slide doesn't work, and they put a slide awning on it. The awning material looks good. The roof looks good. They even upgraded to a Mallard pin box on the front. So that's the story for this one. If that means that this is not the right RV for you, I totally get it. That's why I just spent over 2 minutes telling you all about it. And if you're still with us, then let's take a step inside and see what else good it has to offer, because there's a lot of good here still. Now I like to, at this point in the video, most of the time I like to show people the slide closed anyway, so they can see what it looks like when you're traveling. But in this case, we're looking at it in its current functional form. So there's that. Now, like I said, I don't really see where there's any problems. Looking up here, I see a little bit of discoloration, but everything is super solid. So I don't think it's a leak. I think it's just, I don't know, discoloration. I'm not real sure what that might have been. Now, it could be sweat lines. Oh, I bet that's what that is. That makes perfect sense. The roof is crowned and vaulted on the exterior, but it's flat inside. That means along the sidewalls, there's a little bit less insulation. So in a hot-cold exchange, you can get some sweat and condensation there. That's what that is. You don't usually see it on RVs that are newer, but older ones like this, they can actually leave a little bit of a stain. So, as you can see, we can get through the RV with the slide closed. The only thing you're really going to lose out on is the entertainment center, and obviously if you're sitting at this seat on the bench, you're going to get a nice look at that. The side of the slide out. Good news is it's clean. It could be worse. Anyway, the point is, it's not ideal. This is not ideal. But ladies and gentlemen, if my notes are right, the lady that we're selling this for is basically asking just barely above scrap value for this thing. Like I said, if you use it once or twice and flip it, you will get your money's worth out of it. This is the floor plan that years and years ago, the guys who have been doing this longer than me, because as long as I've been doing this, there's guys who have been doing this much, much longer than me, they said, man, back then, if you were going to tow a boat behind a fifth wheel, this is the one. This is one that everybody bought every time if they were going to tow triples. So you can see the sink covers are here. The cabinetry's not all bad and banged up. It needs cleaned. It certainly needs cleaned. I'm not going to apologize for that. It is what it is. This is, not a video about apologizing. It's a video about explaining. We had it plugged in. Water pump, air conditioner, furnace, all this stuff fires up. When you hit the slide button over here, you can hear what sounds like maybe a relay clicking. So the switch is working, the electricity is trying to get there. I don't know if it's a seized up motor. I don't know if it's some kind of bad solenoid. I don't know what it is. I know that there's a problem and the slide does not currently operate, which is a bummer because this thing is otherwise, structurally, it's a tank. But that was really true of a lot of these older Fleetwoods. They weren't pretty necessarily. This Mallard was never built to be new and flashy and fancy. but they were tanks. They just kept going. They kept hanging in there. This rear bathroom, I'm gonna, hold on. Oh, I don't have my, where's my phone? Oh God. You know that feeling when you pat your pocket and your phone's gone? I just had that happen. I had a heart attack. Anyway, so it's a little dark. My apologies. You can see we got this big closet here in the rear bathroom spinning around. They spent the money to upgrade to the bigger max air vent fan up here to get the better airflow. And this is something else I've seen people do. They'll add a hanging rod in here, kind of like a motorhome, to create some extra hanging storage. It looks like they actually use the bathroom as a closet more than a bathroom. It smells like they went through and did clean the surfaces in here. So I think somebody did try to like knock the dust off it, so to speak. The sofa can fold down into a sleeper, and what's nice is there's enough room in front of that slide. You can still drop that down. In a way, this could be just like I said, this could be a very viable option as a first-timer's RV. Understanding the fact that this would give you an inexpensive way to try camping before you went neck deep on the $20,000, $30,000 fifth wheel and you know, went all the way in your very first time. Because overall, man, guys, it's not bad. Like, there's some cosmetic stuff. It looks like maybe a grandkid went through and picked apart this little trim for I don't know what reason, but somebody did it, unfortunately. It could have been cold cracking, but there's a lot of that to be cold cracking. But like I said, structurally, it's a tank. It's not necessarily new. It's definitely not new. It's not necessarily pretty. And obviously the slide doesn't work. But again, if you're okay with just dealing with it if the price tag is right, or if you can fix this thing, you could buy this cheap, fix it, and probably flip it and make a few $1,000s. Why don't we do it? Well, this is here on consignment. We don't make that decision. The owner makes that decision, and she's decided she wants to sell it as it sits. So there you have it. You know, other than a surface bath, the outside of this thing is not bad. I mean, it's really not bad at all. Way back when these were new, they put a coating on the surface of their RV, and obviously we have some level of sun exposure and fade here, but when this was brand new, the paint protection package that they put on these straight from Fleetwood, you could literally take a wad of keys out of your pocket and just grind them against the side of this and it wouldn't scratch it. They put like an anti-scratch coating on it, and that has helped this thing, by and large, continue to look pretty darn good over time. Now, being kept away from the sun in a barn or something like that certainly doesn't hurt either. You see that they spent some money to put a Mallard pin box on the front. There's a good look at that non-operational slide out with the slide awning, so when you do get it operational, you're going to be good to go. Somebody, while it was in storage, looks like they maybe scuffed something into this. We wondered real quick, oh, I wonder if that's why the slide's not working. It's not. It's just a surface abrasion. You know, there's something mechanical wrong going on here. And again, I was really surprised. Tires, not all rotted out. They stored it properly so it wouldn't rot the tires. And again, the decals look really good for the age. They put a little 2-inch receiver hitch bolted onto the bumper in the back, so if you're gonna just throw a bike rack or something on the back, you'd be good there. It looks like before it went into storage the past 3 years, they were really proactive about roof upkeep. The seals have definitely been, you know, peeled and resealed and replaced at some point. Spare tire here, you would think, oh, this is sitting out here where it's going to get cooked by the sun. A little bit of weather checking on this tire, but these tires look all right. So overall, like I said, it's a bummer because it's this close to being something that's really fun and really cool. Like, hey, look at this older Fleetwood. She's still going. And really it kind of is. It's just that it's so close to being much, much better. But at the same time, that would also mean it would cost much, much more. So, to give you an idea, where the lady of the house is asking us to sell this now compared to before, she's only asking us to sell this for like 30% of her original asking price. She's being fair. She's being realistic. She's like, just let it go. I'm done with it. So someone's going to do well with this. And if you're a person who's kind of handy, you're going to do really well with it. So take care, stay safe, have fun. Happy camping, everyone. Hope you appreciate the clarity, transparency, and decency that we conduct ourselves with here at Mallard RV.